Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing today? Do I sound okay? I hope I sound all right. I had to use a different kind of noise limiter through OBS. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to work with what we got. And that's not a problem today. Hope you guys are all doing well. It is February 4th, 2026. And the chapter is already dropping. And so we have to work fast here to catch up to with everything that is going on. So do not worry. I am doing my absolute best here. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you guys are having nothing but the greatest nights of your lives. Oh, I gotta show myself. Hi, how we doing today? How we doing, guys? I don't know why the screen is all the way over here. But we do apparently have translations dropping as well. Go ahead, let me pull this up here. And as usual, we gotta zoom in. Let me move chat out of the way. I'm a little slow, guys. Don't worry. I'm trying my best to catch up here. Don't mind me. Just a professional streamer here. Okay. We've got this in a place that I'm okay with it. All right, y'all. Now we're ready for leak night. 7 pages and 3 translated so far. The spoilers are indeed out, everybody. I hope you all are doing well tonight. Let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and pair these translations up with the spoilers as as greatly as I can. So it seems like we missed the actual first page of this chapter for some reason. Be that because the person that was taking the source completely missed the first chapter or not, we are once again missing a critical page. Now, whether that first chapter is one of the most important things of the entire story or not, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. If it really helps the stream, really helps the channel way more than you know. Because as always, this is just my commentary, review, and reaction of all the new information that's coming out. This is not a market substitute. Go support the official release and purchase it. Do everything you can. That being said, this chapter does seem to open up with Maru getting that final blow dealt to him, and it seems like we are flashing back to Tsurugi talking with Maki. And Grandmother Maki is bestowing wisdom on to Tsurugi here, saying that if, I wasn't here, if Mai hadn't died, someone might have done something, someone might have fixed it. But you know what? Now I can say that it was just some sweet, naive fantasy, apparently, is what she says. So basically what she's saying is, up until this point, she's always had questions. She's always had the idea of, what if I had done things differently? What if I hadn't killed the clan? What if I hadn't done all of these things that I did to get to this point? What if someone else stepped in and fixed everything? But now in old age, as she's, slowly making her way out, she says, now I can say that was just a naive fantasy, which is like, basically her saying, I got no regrets. This is her on the stand telling everyone, I ain't got no regrets. First JJK fans ain't reading it now. They not even looking at the first page. Yo, literally skipping right to the back of the book, babies. That's what we're all about here. And then we have, but why? Which it seems like is Tsurugi instead of dealing a final blow to Maru and killing Maru, he drops his blade and Maru drops his, and he pulls him in for a freaking hug, bro. I'm not even kidding you. He pulled him in. He said, "Bro hug." He said, "We ain't about that. I'm not gonna kill you. Not gonna kill you today." Disney kaisen, the power of friendship. Maru used mirror force. Let's see. So Maru is essentially saying if Tsurugi had actually followed through completely with that swing, Tsurugi would have won, killed Maru. Which we kind of already knew. We kind of already had a pretty big idea that Tsurugi was about to cook Maru with the fact that he had that Rika fusion, and especially once he got the soul split katana, it was over. He asked Tsurugi why he let go of the sword, and Tsurugi says he doesn't really know, but you know what? Somehow, I just felt like it was wrong. I felt like a future where I win this way wouldn't be right. So it seems like that blood was Tsurugi's.
At 85 Toucan tipped $5 through Super Chat. JJK fans finally have a valid reason why they only read the cover of the book.
Hey, thank you, 85 Toucan. I appreciate that. Yeah, you can literally say that now JJK fans do not read. They only read the cover of the book and nothing else. Well, now we skipped that front cover. We did the exact opposite today. You know what? We have to keep people guessing. We got to keep people on their toes. And Maru tries to say that this isn't about right or wrong. Like, weren't we fighting for Yuka? Weren't we fighting for Yuka? Tsurugi hits Maru with, honestly, the most truest words I think I've ever seen someone say in this entire goddamn series, bro. Honestly, respect to Tsurugi. He might have become the best character just based off of this. He says, yeah, well, I don't know either, damn it. I'm only 17. He said, dude, he goes, I don't got all the fucking answers, bro. I can't even drink alcohol legally yet. You know what? Absolute fairness. I don't expect anything more. What else was he supposed to say? Some divine grand wisdom that should only be capable by, like, you know, someone 3 times Tsurugi's age? Nope. I honestly, I think that's great. I think that's amazing. And then we move on to page 4, which is just, you know, Maru and Tsurugi just laying around. Tsurugi is clearly the one that took most of the damage here. Maru is let off the hook. Tsurugi might be on death's door here. I'm just a kid and life is just not fair. Tsurugi says, I don't understand anything anymore. What am I supposed to do? Oh my god, is this what gives Maru perspective? Ain't no way. Maru goes, no, that's not right. On Earth, Japan, the ones who have been living here since long ago are Tsurugi and the others. Is like this thought just now clicking in Maru's head? Is this how we finish this? Maru's like, wow. Coming in and invading these people's countries, these people's planet, might not have been a good thing after all. Wow. I'm cracking up. There's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to it than that. Colonizing the planet was a bad idea. Are we the bad? Wait, we were the baddies all along? So basically, long story short, for people that are just joining, it seems like instead of Tsurugi dealing the final blow, which he very much could have, Maru admits that Tsurugi was the stronger one in this fight, and if Tsurugi had swung with all of his might, he would have won the fight and killed Maru. But Tsurugi actually held back and let Maru take the hit for him. Or Tsurugi actually just took Maru's strike instead. So now Tsurugi is the one that's bleeding out. Sorry if I didn't explain that correctly. Well, they just released one of the biggest pages of all time. Unfortunately, this is, I believe, out of order, but he's here. The man, the myth, the legend himself. Mahito is present in Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji and Mahito are touching base. They are talking. This is not a drill. Likes in the chat, likes in the stream. Mahito is back, baby. Now we are getting everything that we could have possibly ever wanted. Looking like a Fent kite. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does look a little rough. Does look like he's a little malnutritioned. This is real. This is indeed real. That's why they actually dropped the page out of order. Someone took the page and leaked it early. And unfortunately, they had to drop the page to prove that it was real. So yeah, Mahito is indeed present in Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. We don't know how far into the chapter this is, but they had to drop it early, unfortunately, to prove that it was indeed real. But we did get chapter 5, we did get page 5 translation, which is Moromaru crying and upset, thinking of the world. If those who were here from the very beginning, then those are the ones that are in the right. What of those whose place was taken from them? What of those who've never had a place to begin with? What are we supposed to do? The earth, the universe. Whose are they, really? So essentially, I think what Maru is saying here is, I mean, this again is always rough translations. They're not perfect. They're not accurate. Pace is a great person. You know, he does great translation work, but they're not, like, again, they're not crisp, accurate, perfect. They do a great job though. Whose are they, really? I mean, as far as it goes, like, I guess what Maru is trying to say here is, if they take Earth, what the fuck are the Earthlings supposed to do? You know? What are the Earthlings supposed to do after that? What are the people who were already homeless? What are the people whose country are already in turmoil? Like, Japan is in a great spot, right? But what about the people who already had no place to begin with? And what are they supposed to do? What are, you know, the Earth, the universe? Who is the original owner of all of this suffering? Who is the person that made us be born? Because I want to talk to that person, is essentially what Maru says. That is essentially what Maru said. While we are waiting for translations here, I'm just looking through the remainder of the chapter here. Oh my god. Do you guys just want to know, or all right, whoa, this shit's crazy. Nah, okay, Deborah speed running, Deborah domain expansion. Deborah just released a domain expansion, bro. I ruined it. I'm sorry. I said it. Unfucking believable, bro. Deborah is unreal, bro. Everyone hit the like button if you haven't already. So, we are still waiting for translations. We are still waiting for translations, indeed. But it seems like Yuji and Maru do have like a soul meeting and a soul like discussion with each other. Wow, so it seems like after Maru cries and realizes the you know the consequences of his actions, he continues to cry as Tsurugi lays next to him, and Rika actually shows up, the spirit of Rika Orimoto, not the husk, the curse spirit, the queen of curses, Rika, quite literally the spirit of Rika Orimoto with her head blown the fuck off. Shows up before Maru, I'm sorry, as he cries thinking of Cross and Yuka begging for someone to help. So what's happening so far in the chapter, guys, and for all the people that are just joining, I'll try and keep everyone up to date here. Essentially what is going on, the chapter started off with it being revealed that Tsurugi very much could have killed Maru if he swung his blade with all of his might and went all out completely in the fight. Tsurugi would have won. However, Tsurugi did not win, and that blood that we saw on the no turning back sign was actually Tsurugi's, as Tsurugi let Maru's blade strike Tsurugi and he basically let Maru win. So Tsurugi is basically falling slumped to the ground, basically admitting that he doesn't feel like it was right to take Maru's life. He didn't feel like it was right to win this way. And no, Maru's like, what do you mean? Like, this was for Yuka. What are we supposed to do now? What are you supposed to do after that? Maru, Tsurugi's like, I don't know, I'm only 17, and he collapses unconscious. Whether he dies or he's just unconscious, we don't know yet. And Maru cries, realizing that his actions have consequences. He realizes that at this point they were just attempting to invade Earth, just like the Discante invaded Lumel. And if they were to invade Earth, then where would the Earthlings go? And then if the Earthlings went to a different place, where would those people go? And Maru realizes basically he's just falling right into the cycle of everything. And because of this, as he cries, Rika Orimoto actually appears before him, the spirit of Rika Orimoto. And I guess after that, it seems like Rika Orimoto actually connects Maru to the spirit realm that seems to house a real Kallion. That seems to house an actual Kallion. That's what it seems like in the page that we're getting here. Let me show. So this is Maru getting transferred to the spirit realm by Rika. I'm not sure what's going on with this Kallion yet. We are still waiting for translations. I'm doing my best here. But yeah. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the chapter. I basically spoiled the biggest things for if you were here earlier, but I'm going to wait for the translations to go through the rest of the chapter. Maybe it's just the ship. Oh, that's just the ship that's on the ship. Possibly that could just be on the ship. I didn't think about that. Maybe they're keeping an actual Kallion on the ship. That's a good point. See, I didn't even think about that stuff. You guys are so much smarter than me. We got another translated page, says Jesse. All right. What the fuck is going on with that? That looks like a giant fucking... I don't want to say what that is. It's a phallic shape piercing the sky. Is that the fucking... Is that the actual ship itself? What is going on here? Maruru, huh? Really? So I should make it that kind of barrier. Again, these are some basic, you know, translations here. But it seems like through whatever this is, maybe... Oh, you know what? You know what it is? I bet he's... So, the ship... Oh, you know what it is? Okay. Okay, I figured it out. So... The ship is passing overhead, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because again, Maru was translated to the ship, the non-X. And what Deborah thinks of in that moment is, Deborah goes, oh, Marulu. He thinks of Maru in that moment. And he thinks of Maru making the spaceship, making the non-X. And quite literally, he goes, so I should make it that kind of barrier. So Deborah thinks of Deborah thinks of the non-axe, I believe, or he also pulls in some of the Marulu stones that are also involved, and using that as a basis, that gives him the idea of barrier techniques. The barrier technique that was used to make the ship. Yep, I mean, it makes sense. Deborah just making stuff up as he goes along. I mean, listen, peak fiction, bro. I'm not even mad about it. He quite literally is like speed running Jujutsu at this point. You want to talk about Higuruma's potential? Deborah just made Higuruma learning everything in 2 weeks look like nothing. Guys, hit the like button if you haven't already. It really helps the channel way more than you know. If you haven't already, the like button. There's like 400 people in here, and yet only like 50 likes. We got to do better. We could at least do 100 likes. If we can at least do 100 likes, 200 might be asking for too much. I know it asks a lot for you guys to press the like button. It takes a second, but 100 likes would be cool. And then, of course, you've got Deborah aura farming. He goes, oh, does this technique exist on Earth too? Deborah keeps asking Maharaga questions like Maharaga can talk back. It's a good point. He's not making stuff up. He's trying to ensure it hits, so why not think of trapping your opponent and making it 100% hit? That's such a good point, too. Uses the idea of the barrier of the non-axe as well as the I need to make sure this attack hits and doesn't miss. That's really, really cool. Hey, you got your scrubs. Really fucking awesome, Dragon. I'm fucking happy for you, brother. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Vex doesn't know. Vex might not understand scrubs because they might not be different in his language. But you have to explain what scrubs are to Vex. But good shit. Good shit, brother. That's that spirit ball energy, that spirit bomb energy, brother, that we share. We share nothing but good vibes. Nothing but good vibes in this house. Yeah, domain expansion, like Deborah. So all people that were saying, you know what was really, you know what's been really funny? You know what has been really funny? Going through these last couple of chapters is I feel like every single time someone says, oh well, Deborah doesn't have this, oh well, Deborah ain't got this though, Deborah ain't got this though, every single time someone says that, the next chapter Deborah does that. Have we noticed the pattern yet? Before, when Deborah first was like, I'm gonna start fucking throwing hands and beating the brick off of Maharaga as fast as I possibly can, light speed, right? Everyone was like, wow, Deborah's just locking in now, dude. Oh, Sukuna and Gojo could never, bro. Sukuna would smile in the face of danger, dog. Like he just used the second technique and killed Maharaga, no problem, dude. And then next chapter, Deborah unlocked reverse curse technique and then unlocked the curse technique reversal and starts whirling around a darkness fucking shadow ball like Pokemon. And everyone's like, "Oh shit, he can actually kill Maharaga, but he doesn't have domain though. But Deborah ain't got domain though. Like until he learns domain, I'm not worried about it. He's not holding the candle." And then Deborah literally this chapter said, "All right, hold my beer," and then just fucking unleashed a domain expansion. What's next? No one got 8, and now what's gonna be said is, "All right, bro. Now we're making Deborah too broken." Deborah doesn't have 2 extra arms though for the sorcery. Yeah, he grows 2 extra arms. Actually, in ancient Sumerian culture, the growth of 2 arms is like and honestly that would be really cool Sukuna lore too if that was the case. I think that'd be funny. Deborah wipes the entire Deborah actually clears everybody, dog. Without a doubt, Deborah actually clears everybody. It's not even a question anymore.
At Zachary Wilson 419 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Let hope that domain works, but on page 9 that wheel is spinning crazy fast.
Hey, thank you so much for the $5 dono. Yeah, no, the wheel does look like it's spinning crazy fucking fast, man. That thing is like it's such a wild barrier concept. The fact that Deborah just literally unlocked and created such a complicated barrier in no time at all. I understand Yuji's state of mind, but aliens, don't you think Gojo would be excited? Nah, I do think Gojo would have been excited. But like Gojo and Yuji are 2 different kinds of people, you know? Oh, wow. Okay. So, as Deborah starts thinking of creating the domain expansion, he notices that Maharaga's wheel starts turning, right? Is Maharaga gonna get a domain too? Who knows? But Deborah does start thinking about that, right? He goes, hey, what's this thing adapting to? Could it be my cursed energy itself? No. To my actual existence? Huh. First time even someone quieter than me wanted to trade words. Maharaga using sign language to congratulate Deborah. Maharaga seems to literally just be adapting to Deborah himself. This is just proof that we have never even seen Maharaga just be this OP, dog. Like, Maharaga is just adapting to Deborah itself. Does this mean that Deborah might not actually win. Who's stopping Maharaga, bro? Who is stopping Maharaga here? This is the strongest Maharaga we have ever encountered in God's creation, dude. Maharaga is OP. Oh yeah, domain expansion. What's the name of the domain? I gotta know. What's the name of the domain? This could be a Megami upscale. Now that's the reality of it, Coconut. That's the true reality of it, is this is actually the most elaborate possible way for Gege to give Megami an upscale. He had to make a whole spin-off sequel to make sure people understood what Megami was cooking. And it couldn't be Megami because we would see through the veil. Yeah, domain expansion, Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. Now that would be, I think I'll call it Jujutsu Kaisen. After sorcerer battle, I'm a warrior and they battle, but I'm also a sorcerer like you. I think I'll call it Jujutsu Kaisen. That would be fucking ridiculous. But honestly, you know what? It would kind of make so much sense. It'd be the one fucking time that, like, Gege could actually get away with some bullshit like that, bro. I can see how a previous 6 Eyes user got his wig split. Yeah, I think the real issue is people were always looking to say that, you know, blah, 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 blah. We want to talk shit about, you know, Deborah for not being able to handle Maharaga. When in reality, Sukuna and Gojo just both knew that Maharaga, if Maharaga achieved his full potential, he'd be too much. He'd be too strong. They actually were ahead of the game. They were actually afraid that Maharaga would get too strong. Think about it. Think of the way that these battles changed. Think of the way that these battles went. Locomotion, thank you for the dono. Deborah learning all this in 5 minutes is lame. I think it makes sense when you consider, like, he's literally meant to be one of the strongest people in the universe. And also on top of that, he's just had the clear potential to awaken all of this in a second. I mean, Higuruma had 2 weeks of time to literally become a grade 1 sorcerer from his domain expansion backwards. Yuji only had a couple months, and Deborah only needed 1 fight. I mean, it's just the progression. But I can understand some people not liking it, though. You know what I mean? I can definitely also understand not liking it. Where's the referee? Now that's the real question. Where's the referee at? While we're waiting for this next translation, guys, I do want to remind everyone that there is a Discord server where you can make sure you don't miss any information on JJK Modulo or series like Kagurabachi, Sakamoto Days, Chainsaw Man, Don to Don, Gachi Akuta. We talk about so many different series, and the community is, you know, we're always active. There's always people in Discord to chat to and talk to. So definitely, please, guys, if you're interested, join the Discord. Link just got posted in chat. Go join. Again, always Discord's always active, and it's a great way to stay up to date. Never miss a stream, never miss anything, all that good stuff. Which actually, you just reminded me, I got a ping. Discord now. We're a little late, but yeah. If anyone is interested, Discord link is in the pinned message in chat. While we're waiting for the next translations. Oh, and we actually did get the very first page of the story, of the chapter. So no one can say that JJK fans don't read the first page anymore. We got the very first page of the chapter. We're just waiting for it to be translated. And we're also just waiting to find out what Deborah's domain name is. Does he say domain expansion? How does he know it? That's a good question. How does Deborah know how to say domain? He's like, I guess this is what they'd say. Or maybe like I don't know, maybe it's like the narrator tells him. Oh, his name is up? Oh God, Twitter's doing this thing again. Another world on the edge of life and death. Reverse crossing. Interesting. Huh. Someone said Animal Crossing. Fair enough, dude. That's the domain name, yes. Deborah's domain name is called Another World on the Edge of Life and Death dash reverse crossing. So there, it's a double entendre. It's a very long. Deborah definitely decided to, you know, flourish, you know, a little bit. He definitely put some pizzazz on that. They told him, they said, Deborah, you can name this whatever you want. He said, whatever I want, no character limit, bet. Yeah, that's not a domain name, that's a poem. Maybe it's related to the final page or last chapter, possibly. Didn't know Deborah was a fan of Shakespeare. TCB translations better cook with the domain name. Yeah, obviously this is probably the most like blunt translation. Like, I'm sure when they put some finesse on it, you know what I mean? I'm sure when they put some finesse on it, it'll be a different name. It seems like the rest of this chapter is all gonna be Yuji and Maru stuff, so I am very excited to see. And while Mahito fans, I think, might be a little upset to see, you know, you know, I don't know if we're gonna get the final Yuji versus Mahito battle that we've all been hoping for, but you know what? We definitely got Mahito, that's for sure. Does Maharaga have a domain? Nope. Deborah just unlocked domain expansion in that last moment. Yeah, light novel ass name. True. You know what? Yeah, honestly, this is the sequel. This is when Gege said, Iwasaki, you can name this one, you know? Hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. We're at 123. We hit 100. Can we hit 200? There's 455 people in chat, so we might be able to hit 200. Miyamura and Holy Yuji say we only have about 5 to 6 chapters left. Yep, we only do. We only have a couple chapters left, so it seems like we're coming up on the epilogue, because honestly, this chapter solves a lot. We might only have 4 chapters left. What up, Julian? Pace trying to build the hype up. Hey, listen, it's a hype ass end to the chapter. That's for damn sure. It really is. It really is a hype ass end to the chapter. Hold on, main content. What a great gift to have while we wait. UG fans are coping, saying Deborah's ass pulling. This is what I mean. Didn't I tell you? This is what's gonna happen. They can't say anything anymore, so now they're just gonna say Deborah is ass puller. Deborah has too much going on, dude. They had to buff him with plot. Thank you for the dono, though. Thank you for the dono. Locomotion, is this hurried like the end of OG JJK? I don't think so. I don't think it's hurried at all. I think the thing is like, if anybody says anything in regards to Modulo being rushed, or Gege rushed the ending of Modulo again, or like, we know for a fact, anybody that has any like actual like reading comprehension knows that Modulo was literally designed from the very beginning to only have 3 volumes. The chapter layout was probably designed from the very beginning. So it's almost guaranteed to say that whatever this story is like literally what was always intended. Yeah, like what Coconut said, impossible for this to end up being rushed. It's actually impossible for this studio to be rushed. Oh wow, okay. We got the next page, which is of course Yuji and Maru are talking on the spaceship. Yuji goes, "Oh, could this really be a Kallion?" Thank you, Mr. Gojo, for joining the Jogo gang. Appreciate you. Also, Toucan, thank you for being a member for a month. I'm sorry I missed that earlier. And what the fuck, bro? So Maru goes, "Oh, so you know what they are." And Yuji says, "I heard the general outline from Todo, bro." Todo knows about Kallion. Todo informed Yuji about what's Yo, is this the reveal that Yuji literally only showed up because Todo hit this man up? Todo was truly the only person that could link up with Yuji. Todo fucking shot Yuji a text and said, "Yo, these aliens are tripping, dog. You might need to show up." He said Todo hit him with the 411. How the hell does Todo know? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how Todo would be able to inform Yuji about Kallions. Maybe people were right, and maybe maybe that woman is Todo's granddaughter. Todo listens to conspiracy theory podcasts. True. Todo has actually gone off the deep end. Todo is a tin hat. A tinfoil hat wearing guy, bro. Todo got abducted. Damn, I would love to have a Kallion as a pet, though. That thing is majestic as hell, dog. Look at that thing. That thing is big time pet worthy. It looks like it would love to cuddle up with you, dog. Like, there's so much space. It's so huge. It's so big. Imagine like you just be able to sleep on it. Like you just be able able to roll over. You can sleep on its belly, dog. The third eye is creepy. You'd get used to it. Why do I have a feeling most of the futuristic stuff in Modulo was invented by Todo? Yeah, the 530,000 IQ. I'm just imagining Todo in like a white lab coat, like mixing chemicals in like different beakers and shit, bro. Toto could have one-shot Deborah, but he just wanted Yuji to do it. He wanted Yuji to pull up for once. He said, please, please, Yuji, let's go hang out. And Yuji said, nah, I'm gonna dip out. Yuji just actually went out and did his job because he didn't want to hang out with Toto. Yeah, Toto would ask Deborah what's his type, and Deborah would be like, what was that one chef? What was up with that one chef? We still gotta end Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo with the political marriage between Deborah and the one chef woman to bring peace between the humans and the aliens. Any of your predictions come true for this chapter so far? Honestly, I'm incapable of predicting chapters anymore because I'm always so far gone. Like these, honestly, some of the shonen that are going on right now are so like unpredictable. Like I couldn't have begun to tell you, especially once Yuji showed up. Everything was free. Everything was free game, to be honest with you. We are still just waiting for translations, y'all. We are still indeed waiting for translations. If you haven't already, hit that like button. We could get to 200 likes, I believe. We got 514 people. We could get it takes 1 second, guys. Hit that like button. It's not likely Yuji's gonna fight Deborah. It doesn't make sense narratively anymore. Yeah, definitely. I mean, as far as it goes, Yuji really did only say he was gonna step up if Yuka lost. And it's quite possible Maharaga may just adapt completely to Domain. And then at that point, what the hell is Deborah supposed to do after that? We still need answers for Yuta's son Iori. I really, the thing is knowing Gege, that would probably be one of the things that gets left to the wayside. Like I can understand wanting to understand what's up with Iori, but I also know in my heart of hearts that is definitely one of those pieces of the story that could just be left on the cutting room floor. That is definitely one of those pieces of story and lore that we could just not get an answer for entirely. Definitely, I think it's possible. Locomotion, thank you for the $2 dono. Even with a loss, Maharaga has redeemed himself. I completely agree. I don't think Maharaga ever needed redemption. I think Maharaga serves its purpose. Maharaga doesn't need to be, doesn't need to be the smoke demon that it is. The fact that Maharaga carries so much, potency, so much impact, that's just a testament to Gege's writing style and how he fucking puts characters on screen, dog. I think it would be a shame if we don't get a real Yuji fight. I mean, at this point, Yuji was never the pull of this manga for me. I never was reading this hoping that Yuji or Mahito would show up. They were always really awesome additions to the story when they did show up, and I absolutely loved seeing the fucking Yuji piercing blood, dismantle the Black Flash, everything like that. Excuse me. But I also enjoyed Modulo for what it was from the very beginning. The fucking Star Wars prequel-ass political story. The Phantom Menace politics shit. Maho adapts, turns into a human, and then Mahito comes out. Oh my god, Maharaga becomes the perfect vessel. Maharaga actually becomes the perfect Mahito vessel. We want a soft recap while we wait for the translations. Fair enough. So, excuse me, sorry. I apologize. I am low in energy. I don't have my Vyvanse. I'm running low. I have to go pick it up tomorrow, so I'm running on no medication today. So I'm just a little fucking tired. When I don't have my Vyvanse, I get tired like when normal people get tired. I get tired like at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. But we're keeping it through. We're pushing. I had some gamer subs. The gamer subs is keeping me going, thank God. But anyway, yeah, back to the chapter summary. Restarting it up while we wait for the translations. The beginning of the chapter starts with a flashback of Maki discussing her past and how she slaughtered the clan to, you know, basically deciding that, hey, you know what? I always spent my days and years thinking that something could have changed. I could have done something differently. Maybe someone could have came in and fixed things besides me. And then she realized that none of that was true and that was a fantasy. And that now, knowing more than anything that she made the right decision that she did, at least as far as I can understand, that's the conversation that's had. And then in that final moment, we've learned that the blood that was splattered onto the no turning back sign was actually Tsurugi's blood. As instead of despite having all of the power and ability to kill Maru and win the fight, Tsurugi withholds his blade and lets Maru deal the finishing blow to Tsurugi instead, basically taking the L, taking the loss, and falling. Maru is surprised that Tsurugi would do such a thing, and Tsurugi admits that, you know what, I don't want to win this way. I don't think that's a valid victory. Something tells me that I needed to lose this fight today, is essentially what Tsurugi says. Maru goes, "What? I thought this fight was about Yuka. I thought this fight was about your sister and saving her. What is this fight for then if it wasn't for saving her?" And basically, Tsurugi says, "I'm only 17. I don't know what to say." And in that moment, Maru cries. He realizes the consequences of his actions, realizing that it's completely possible that if they take Japan from Japanese people, that just displaces Japanese people. They may have to take land from other people, and then that in turn creates a cycle of people taking and stealing other land from other people. And where, at the end of the day, are these people with no place supposed to go? Where are no people with no place supposed to go? Who is the owner of the universe, and why did he damn us to such a fate? And as he cries and, you know, thinks and hopes and wishes that someone like Cross or Yuka would come back to save him, we see an image of Rika Orimoto the spirit. And once Rika Orimoto the spirit looks at Maru, Maru is transported to the Nonak ship. And while Maru is on the Nonak ship, Deborah actually looking at the Nonak ship and remembering the barrier of the Nonak ship that Maru created, as well as the fact that he needs to guarantee his ability will hit and kill Maharaga in one shot. He comes up with the idea of a domain expansion all on his own and summons a domain expansion. And then meanwhile, while Deborah is summoning a domain expansion, we have Yuji meeting up with Maru on the Nonak ship and discussing and talking with a actual Kallion, physically and actually there in front of all of us, while Yuji kind of pets it and talks to it. We just got a new page translated. New page. Yuji petting the Kallion and talking with Maru. So this is the longest-lived Kallion revered by the Rumel people aboard the ship. So basically, Maru explains that this Kallion that they're looking at is the oldest and longest-living Kallion that they've ever met, that they've ever had in their clan. And Yuji, as he pets it, he goes, "Oh wow, this really does resemble a cursed spirit." Yuji then asks, so why was I brought here then? Maru says, my technique judged that you are suitable. And then Maru says, suitable for what? The cursed energy of Tsurugi and Yuka's grandfather. The Muru that composes Nonax. By combining that along with my technique and his, I want to bring harmony between Earthlings and the Sumerian people. However, I can't proceed on my own authority. Itadori Yuji, I want you to pass judgment on this harmony and to serve as a witness, as the representative of Earth. Oh shit. Ah, okay. I think I have translations for the rest of the chapter now. Okay. Thank you, Jesse. Okay. I wish to begin the harmonization of Earthlings and Sumerians. I cannot proceed with this on my own authority. Yuji, I ask you to render judgment on this harmonization and serve as a witness to represent the Earthlings. Okay. And the next page. Looks like Yuji's giving up the soul book, actually. Yuji's actually given up the soul book. Harmonization, huh? Specifically, I want to create a world where cursed spirits are not born. Huh. Wants to make a world where curses don't exist. Wow, we're finally getting to that point. Wow, and in that moment, Yuji actually fucking pulls it out and goes, "That this is my person. Blah. That's this person's, my big brother, the person that my big brother was indebted to. It was their cherished desire." Oh shit! So this is essentially Yuki. Wow, this is the fruition of everything. This is the final fruition of Yuki Tsukumo's will. Yuki was able to pass her knowledge down to Choso, and Choso passed that knowledge to Yuji, knowing that one day that knowledge would reach the right person. This truly is the connection of everything. The connection of Kenjaku, the connection of the death paintings, the connection of Geto, the connection of Yuki. This is legitimately the actual harmonization of every piece of story in Jujutsu Kaisen. I actually kind of fucking love this. This is great. Yuji says, "Let's do it." Locomotion, thank you for the dono. So Maru's technique was Dragon Balls, basically. So yep, Yuji says, "Yep, let's do it. Let's go ahead." Maru says, "Thank you." And he says, first, we were gonna have to meet him. Like you, he's also a key to harmonization chosen by my technique. I love that. Maru's technique said, someone's due for an ass whooping. He said, hold up. He said, hold up. Also, I've got someone for you. And Maru says, it seems like this place is a passageway for all souls on Earth. And he appears to be a resident here. And they, you know, they pull the veil back. Yuji turns, sees who's behind the veil, and starts laughing. He goes, haha, now that's a nostalgic face. And, well, you guys and Prodigy, you just joined, so this might be a crazy fucking, you know, might be a crazy fucking transition here, but, you know. We then turn to the next page. It's fucking Mahito, who is the other key to harmonizing Earthlings and Sumerians, chosen by Maru's technique. Mahito is essentially the curse representative. So in order to bring harmony to Earthlings and Sumerians and eliminate all curse spirits, they had to essentially bring one human, one Sumerian, and one curse spirit together. Locomotion, thank you for the $2 dono. Which technique is more cracked, Maru or Takaba's? Takaba's, for real. Takaba's is the most cracked. So again, Yuji starts cracking up because he goes, wow, what a nostalgic face. That's so funny. And well, yep. Oh no, I fucked up. And yep. So Mahito is the person, and Mahito is also just as excited to see Yuji, funnily enough. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this right. Mahito says, Yuji, you're late. I've been waiting for you. I couldn't meet you until you were dead, and it's been so long. Hey, how did you die? Wait, you aren't dead? Yuji says, I just came because I was called. Where the hell are they at? They at the ship? I'm pretty sure they're on the non-axe, yes. I'm 99% sure they're on the non-axe, yes. Hey, what is going on, guys? We are almost at 700 viewers. That's fucking insane. We just hit 200 likes, guys. Thank you all so much. That's 200 likes is insane. For Mahito's return, I think that's pretty much well worth it. Guys, don't forget, if you want to talk anything Jujutsu Kaisen, Modulo, Kagurabachi, Sakamoto Days, Dandadan, Gachiakuta, or Chainsaw Man, please click the link in the pinned message to join the Discord. Also, if you want to stay up to date with all things JJK Modulo, all spoiler talk, everything like that, join the Discord, please. And also hit the like button if you haven't already. We can definitely hit 300 likes. And yeah, so Yuji goes, I just came because I was called. And then Mahito is literally upset. He falls on the floor and he's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Why is that? I've been waiting for you this whole time. Mahito is scared shitless because he realizes that Yuji is still alive. And the reason for that is because, again, Mahito has been basically waiting in limbo for Yuji this entire time. Still just waiting for Yuji to die so he could gloat and make fun of Yuji to Yuji's face. Yet, right in this moment, When he finally gets face to face with Yuji, he realizes that Yuji isn't dead, which makes Mahito all the more fucking terrified, right? Because now Mahito's like, wait a minute, I don't have the advantage that I thought I did here. Locomotion, thank you for the dono. Yuji's more curse spirit than human, no sense. I mean, Maru's basically just given him the representative spot of being a human. I mean, he does have the faint trace of a Kallion, but Yuji was always, you know, more human than anything, I feel like. You know, the death painting part of Yuji is probably the lowest percentage of him. But you know what? I can see. The point I'm trying to make is, I fucking love this. Maru says, let's begin. So this might be how Yuji dies. This might be how Yuji dies. So Maru might actually call it quits as well. Is this how the merger's made up to be? Huh. That's kind of an interesting way to put it. But I'm going to imagine that Maru, Mahito, and Yuji are all going to give up their lives in order to enact this binding vow here to make sure that curse spirits no longer exist. Why would Yuji die? I don't know, it just makes sense to me. Makes sense to me that they would have to give something up to achieve this kind of potential. But I could be wrong. Suffer for my entertainment, maybe? Why would Maru die? He's the Sumerian representative. I don't think so. Maybe, you know what, I am considered to be, by the community, very death happy. I know Yuji wants to die, so I think this is just a great way for Yuji to find rest. I mean, Maru essentially doesn't really, I mean, Cross is still alive. But Tsurugi is incapacitated. Tsurugi, you know, lost the battle. Imagine everyone in Modulo dies. That'd be a crazy end. He, like you, was chosen by technique as a key to harmony. The fact that Mahito sitting around in limbo would end up being the perfect key to harmony, and this is how Yuji fucking takes him out in the end. It would be interesting if this somehow makes the merger as all three known races are here now, and thus creates the merger not as how we first thought it to be. Yuji inheriting the will, whether he liked it or not. We never knew what the merger would take place to become. Yuki Tsukumo's dream has come to fruition towards the end. Wow. Deborah is left as the ultimate protector of Earth. Wow. What a fucking chapter, guys. That was a W fucking... That was a 10 out of 10 chapter. So much happened. That was such an awesome chapter. I absolutely, to a T, love the way that this is coming around. I do not know if we've got about 4 chapters left, 5 chapters left, 6 chapters left. But this is definitely feeling like it's endgame. Deborah unleashed a domain fucking expansion on Maharaga. So we don't know what's gonna happen and who's gonna win that fight, but...
At Locomotion 965 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Dabura perfectly mirroring Maharaga's adaptation with his growth seems like bad writing. It takes away from Maho's unique ability. What say you?
Thank you for the dono, Locomotion. No, I completely disagree personally. I think Deborah being able to grow and level up on a level that actually outpaces Maharaga's adaptation is great. And I think that was always the key to making Deborah and Maharaga a fun fight. I mean, again, if you think about it, if Deborah didn't unlock any of the things that he unlocked, Maharaga would have just dusted him, 2 chapters ago, and then everyone would have been upset that Maharaga lost. So, or not Maharaga, that Maharaga lost, that Deborah lost so easily. So I think they perfectly crafted the Maharaga versus Deborah fight. I can understand people not liking that Deborah just unlocked everything right off the bat, but for a sequel villain, I mean, he's a sequel villain. This is all supposed to be a 25 chapter story. Him unlocking everything right off the bat, it kind of makes sense. It's not like there's time for, Deborah to train and unleash everything. There's 25 chapters most likely in this whole series. And there's also a legitimate fucking reason for why he unlocked all of his techniques. It's not like he just kind of ass pulled them. Like, there was, like, even the domain at the end that he just unlocked this chapter, like, was also cleverly, found out by Deborah. Like, Deborah thinking of Maru constructing the barrier of the non-axe, and then also having to make a need that he needs to not only miss, he can't fuck around with this technique. He has to kill Maharaga in one shot or Maharaga will adapt. So it's almost like Deborah was put in the perfect situation where he naturally came to the conclusion of these abilities. And it's also not like he's copying anyone. It's not like he just saw domain and was like, oh, I could do domain too, haha. Like, he literally had a natural result and hypothesis to everything that he created. Like, he made reverse curse technique because he realized that the Earthlings definitely had a way to heal that involved their sorcery. And also by having touched Maharaga's positive energy blade, he was able to realize, maybe that's the energy, used it, and that released reverse curse technique. And then he thought to himself, well, if I can just use a different energy entirely, what if I produce my technique with that different energy? And then again, getting put in the perfect circumstance to have a domain, he literally, it's not that he copied domain or unlocked the domain. Deborah created a domain on his own. Deborah needed a one-hit attack that would make sure that would make sure Maharaga was caught in the blast. So there you have the idea of the one-hit short hit kill. And then also by thinking of and looking at the non-X spaceship, he said, oh, that's how I could trap him inside and make sure it attacks, by using the same kind of barrier that Maru did. So I think it makes sense. I think Deborah just has unreal potential, and I'm okay completely with it. And Clinton, thank you for the dono. Did Deborah win? It's unclear whether Deborah won or not yet. Something tells me that with this grand conclusion that Yuji, Maru, and Mahito are going to create, whatever that conclusion is, it may actually just end and resolve the Maharaga fight without any real winner, because it would actually give a chance to void the ritual and keep Yuka alive. Something tells me that whatever Maru is about to do might actually just void out the ritual all entirely and keep Yuka alive. Excuse me. I also feel like Yuka may get a chance to heal her brain cancer, and she may choose not to. Why would Gege make Deborah reach such power to only get rid of cursed energy in general? Because the whole point of peace is to get rid of cursed spirits. The whole point of making everyone happy and making it so everyone can live happily is getting rid of cursed spirits. So that was always the whole point, right? Like, I don't know if they're getting rid of cursed energy. They might be getting rid of cursed energy in general. His powers from another planet? No, I'm going to imagine if they get rid of sorcery for everyone, Deborah will also lose sorcery.
At Locomotion 965 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Maybe I don't like it because he is a reverse Satoru. We know Satoru is the
Realistically
strongest
speaking,
because
the
he
fact
trained
that
not
Yuji
because of
invoked
limitless
Yuki
plus
Tsukumo,
6
the whole
eyes.
goal of Yuki Tsukumo was
Shookuna
to extinguish
same.
cursed energy, remember? Oh, I'm sorry, Locomotion. I talked during your dono. I apologize. Maybe I don't like it because he's a reverse Satoru. We know Satoru is the strongest because he trained, not because of his limitless and 6 eyes. Sukuna the same. I mean, Satoru was the strongest because of his limitless and 6 eyes, right? He was the strongest because of his limitless and 6 eyes. So Gojo only trained after he lost to Toji. Like, Gojo was still pretty much already stronger than most people just with limitless and 6 eyes. And then also the moment that he almost died, he unlocked reverse curse technique, which unlocked his healing red at once, which is essentially what Deborah did. The only thing that Deborah did differently is Deborah unlocked domain expansion on the same day. Gojo just didn't unlock domain. Gojo just unlocked purple because purple was all he needed. But realistically, if you think about it, like, I don't think Deborah did anything that Gojo didn't. You know what I mean? Deborah literally did exactly what Gojo did. Is there a chance Harmony will end cursed energy in total? I think that's going to be the case. I think it might actually be removing cursed energy as a whole entirely. It makes sense that it would be cursed energy because, again, Yuki's thing wasn't getting rid of cursed spirits. Yuki's thing was getting rid of cursed energy. So the fact that Yuji says this was always Yuki's dream makes sense that they'd be getting rid of cursed energy as a whole, not just cursed spirits. I don't think you can get rid of cursed energy unless humanity doesn't exist. Well, it was always Yuki's goal to somehow extinguish cursed energy, and that was Yuki's idea, was just by making everyone heavenly restricted. Yeah, it's possible everyone will be turned into heavenly restricted people once cursed energy is gone. How does a curse technique have the power to end cursed energy? Well, it's not only using Maru, Mahito, and Yuji's essences as the power, but it's also going to be using the cursed ring that contains Rika Orimoto, and also the binding, and also like the attachments of Yuka and Tsurugi. And then you also have the Marulu rocks that were made with the non-axe. So they're using the non-axe. They're using the cursed ring that has Yuta's cursed energy that has had it, has been filled with for decades. And then they have Yuji, Mahito, and Maru's harmonization curse technique. I can definitely think that this makes sense. Using Yuji and Mahito for the merging is kind of crazy. I think that's great fucking writing. I think that's a great usage of these two characters that have been lingering around for longer than they need to. I really like it too. It's a clever way to, again, give Yuji a chance to rest and also fucking take Mahito's bitch ass out. Like, bitch, you've been hanging around in this limbo fucking shit for too long. Tsurugi lost on purpose, essentially. Tsurugi basically gave up. He said he didn't feel right winning that way, and he felt like it wouldn't be the right path to take victory and kill Maru here, which ended up being the right choice in the long run, because Maru is actually going to make an even better decision than Tsurugi ever could have by defeating Maru, because they're going to essentially bring peace to the world entirely. So Tsurugi, everyone can say Tsurugi's a bum, Tsurugi made the wrong decision, or Tsurugi, didn't close, but Tsurugi, it seems like, made the right decision here. He went with his gut feeling that it wasn't the right thing to do to win, and it seems like that was the right choice. Wouldn't cursed weapons still exist? I mean, maybe, but I think we're just splitting hairs at this point, you know? Peace to the world to remove. I mean, not necessarily peace to the world, but you get in reference of a shonen battle manga. You get what I mean, right? You know, they're removing a major cataclysm that's only causing issues. You know, I don't think everything will be sunshine and rainbows, and there will never be no problems ever again. But Amaru is not wrong by saying that Sumerians and humans will never be able to coexist as long as cursed energy, cursed spirits. I mean, realistically, Japan, that is also what's creating the disharmony between Japan and the rest of the world, if you also think about it, right? Like part of one of the biggest things that this series started with was Japan being entirely extremely too nationalistic and having way too much pull and power over the world itself because they were in so much control of cursed energy as a resource. So by removing cursed energy entirely, that also removes Japan's superpower and also forces Japan to get back in line with the rest of the world. And yeah, no, I don't think some people will like this at all, but also the people that aren't gonna like this are the people that are solely and wholeheartedly for agenda and agenda alone. You want to know why? Because with no cursed energy, that means there's no agenda to push. If everyone loses cursed energy, that means everyone's a bum. Everyone's the exact people that they've been talking shit about for the last 21 chapters. So no, people aren't gonna like it. But I genuinely think that this is, in my opinion, the best way to end Modulo that it could have possibly ever ended. I mean, when I saw Yuji on the ship, I said, no way are they actually Maru's gonna send Yuji back to Samaria and they're gonna fucking clean house at the Discante with Yuji. We're actually gonna go this route. But nope, it seems like actually they came up with a whole new route entirely, which I love. Thank you for the dono, Locomotion. Do I think Mars Cursed Acting is a Deus Ex Machina? No, I think they perfectly set this up from the very beginning. I don't think this could be set up better, honestly. I think they cleverly brought all of these final chess pieces together while also making it appear in a way that wasn't easily predictable. Can they at least not forget about Yuka? No, I feel you, Prodigy. I really wholeheartedly feel like my theory is that by enacting this harmony, this final harmony, whatever it is, I think it's gonna null and void the ritual. They just remove cursed energy from the world. She's trapped in the shadow. She's no clipped forever into the world. They can never pull her out. I'm cracking up, dog. If they get rid of Kurt's energy, that's the end of the series. Yep, I thought so. I thought so. But Yuka still has the brain tumor. I mean, the one thing that I think a lot of people are gonna struggle with, especially with an ending like this, is that, like, yeah, Yuka will still have the brain tumor. But I mean, if Jujutsu never existed in the first place, she would have always had the brain tumor. She would have always been, you know, that's just kind of life, you know. Some people have brain tumors, unfortunately. I would be, again, if Yuka gets healed and she no longer has brain cancer, I'm completely okay with that. But I'm also gonna 110% be honest with you. I would also be okay with Yuka maintaining the brain cancer. It's sad, it's tragic, but it's very much fact of life. It's very much true shit. What if it just spreads cursed energy equally between everyone? I think that's an awful idea. I think that would just make things more, that would just make, then people have all the more reason to fight and continually wage war because they're all gonna have cursed energy, and also cursed spirits are still going to appear. Remember, part of the reason that Yuki said that Geto's plan wouldn't work is because they were just putting a band-aid on it. You can never get rid of cursed spirits entirely. Well, I guess if you make everyone a sorcerer, Geto's plan would work, but then you'd have to kill all the non-sorcerers. By making everyone a sorcerer, technically, that would solve the cursed spirit problem. Yeah, let's give everyone superpowers. What could go wrong? That's my point. I don't think giving everyone superpowers is the answer. I think taking superpowers away from everyone is the answer. Maru ridding the world of cursed energy also solves the problem of the human trafficking. Yes, exactly. That also solves the problem of the cursed energy children traffickers. Boom. That's not getting rid of the cursed energy from the aliens' home planet. It might, though, because again, this is involving Maru, and also the Sumerians may never come back to Earth, right? Like, this is solely so Sumerians and Earthlings can live in harmony. Now there won't be cursed energy trafficking, but there will still be normal trafficking. I mean, at that point, what are you really supposed to do, you know? Tiberius, thank you for the dono, brother. Mattio's really about to get bullied into wiping out his kind. Jogo's turning in his ashes. True, bro. So true, dude. He said, in 100 years, Mahito will be that mirror. Mahito will be the mirror of death for all humans. Little did Jogo know he was sealing the fate of cursed spirits forever. Is Yuka's dad gonna be pissed? Do you think he could be a future villain? I have no idea. I don't know what's up with Iori Okotsu. I have no idea what's up with Iori Okotsu. It really could go either way. I mean, we have about 4 chapters left, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. We 4 to 6 chapters. I don't know exactly where we're gonna stand. I feel like this has to be a setup to some other series because this feels undercooked. Tsurugi just dies and Yuka, if she survives, is just gonna have brain cancer. I mean, isn't that just life? Modulo ends at chapter 30. Well, volume 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen ended at around chapter 25. So we won't, it's not necessarily certain we'll get 30 chapters. We may only get about 25, 26. I'm certain Yuji won't die. We're gonna have to wait and see. I feel like Yuji might die. Exactly like you said, Music. Gege showed that to break the cycle of hatred, we have to place our faith in that next generation. That they can handle what they'll face and not try to coddle and let someone else deal with all their problems. Yeah, I think everyone has a good chance of becoming heavily restricted. That was what Yuki's goal was, right? To turn everyone into a Toji Zenin. I'm loving this series right now, Mario. I think this is fucking awesome. What will convince Deborah to stop the fight? I mean, remember, Deborah is only fighting because he feels like they have to. He feels like he has to step up for the Lumel people. If there's literally no reason and the Earthlings and Sumerian people are able to exist in harmony, there's no reason for them to fight. Maru's about to pull a Kenjaku. He's sacrificing all cursed energy in Jujutsu in order to start the merger. Potentially. You could look at it as them actually making their own version of a merger. If this is some kind of merger, it'd be funny. I think it might be, y'all. I think it actually might be. This might actually be them doing a different merger. Wouldn't surprise me. And I think that's such a great fucking full circle conclusion. Everyone will be heavily restricted just with guns. Yo, honestly, that's the real Jujutsu Kaisen fucking sequel we need.
At Locomotion 965 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Little do they know is that there are way more negative emotions in third world countries. Miguel has been carrying the biggest burden.
Locomotion, little do they know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is gonna work for the whole world, right? Because also curse spirits only show up in Japan anyway, because that's where Tengen's barriers are kind of centralized. So there'd be no heavenly restrictions because cursed energy is tied with heavenly restrictions. Well, it would be like a Maki Mai Toji heavenly restriction, like no zero cursed energy in turn for maximized human prowess. As long as we get Yuji's domain expansion name, I'm happy. I do not know if we are gonna get that. I don't know if we're gonna get that. Guys, just a reminder, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Thank you so much if you're joining. I appreciate you all so much. Remember that you can join the Discord if you want to get all possible updates for Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, all possible updates in regards to Kagurabachi. Sorry, I had a brain fart right there. Kagurabachi, you know, Sakamoto days, Don to Don. You can get all your updates. There's always people in chat talking about the Discord, so please, Discord's in the pinned message. Join the Discord, hang out with the No Operator crew. Again, we got an awesome community. And again, if you were all about other types of series too, so not just Modulo. No, I do. I'm losing my my ability to stay up here, but it's okay. We're basically calling it, you know. We are basically gonna call stream because we've been yapping for a while. The chapter is finished, and I need to go ahead and make the spoiler summary as well as walk my doggos. So I'm gonna miss spoiler nights. Yeah, I know it is such a shame that Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo is such a short series. It really is such a big shame. Genuinely such a huge shame. Like, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. I love how it pulls all of us together and it makes the best of, you know, out of so many fans and so many friendships. We all started in Shinjuku Showdown. Fuck, we all started when Sukuna took over Megami. I still remember the 212 spoiler stream. That was the spoiler stream that started it all. Really, I mean, we might have had a spoiler stream here or there, but it wasn't every week until Megami took over, or Sukuna took over Megami. Sorry. Just wait till Kagurabachi passes 150. True. Do you read Record of Ragnarok? I do indeed read Record of Ragnarok. I haven't read a single chapter since the Odin fight just started recently, so I'm not caught up. I'm a couple chapters behind. We mostly did If You Know You Know when TCB dropped. True, yeah, we did do the If You Know You Know. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get going. If anyone has any last questions, anyone has any last messages they want to get out, please let me know. This is your chance to get it all out. It does. Being a no-up historian does not pay well. It does not, unfortunately. Like the stream if you haven't already, y'all. Like the stream, and if you missed the summary of the chapter, if you missed any of the discussions, the stream will always stay up. And also, spoiler summary will be out later tonight, as always. Next stream will most likely probably be out on Saturday or Friday. Probably Friday, actually, now that I think about it. But I usually wait for TCB to come out, but the translations may come out super duper early for this chapter based off of the way that how early all of the sources were. So we may actually get a tech set chapter pretty early. You want a fun event stream or something soon? I promise we'll get to that soon. I know I do have some things planned. But you guys are just gonna have to wait for that. But guys, I love y'all. You guys are all great people. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me on another spoiler night. These are always fun. I'm gonna rejoice, and I'm gonna try to do them every single week just to keep the vibe going. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Maybe Deborah's domain shirt could be something we couldn't see Yuki do. Maybe if you think about it, maybe Deborah's technique is just Yuki's reverse. That would be interesting. That'd definitely be interesting. But all right, y'all. I love you. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Join the Discord if you want to chat and hang out. And guys, I hope you have a great night. Spoiler summary for 21 will be out in the next couple of hours. And guys, stay beautiful. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.